Today we're talking about Mafia 3, the latest new game from 2K Entertainment. Now, when compared to Mafia 1 and 2, people had a lot of hate to talk about this game, but my personal opinion is I think it's my favorite one. And so let's get into it. The game takes place in the 1960s, precisely I think around 1968 in New Burdock, which is a fictional city created in the southern region, but then again I'm not very well knowing of the southern region. Anyway, so obviously back then, people were very racist back then, and that's what they aimed to create in this game. Not to insult anybody. They even at the very beginning of the game state that they hate racism, but they felt it was necessary to make it realistic in this game to apply to the story that's given to your character. And your character in this game is a man named Lincoln Clay, an African American man who came back from Vietnam after spending in the war for quite some time. And he basically comes back because originally his plans was he wanted to say goodbye to his adopted father and stepbrother because he was going to California to go live his life basically. But certain problems with other gangs require Lincoln to help out. He basically decided to stick around to help out and make sure that everything is peace with other Mafia members. But that all went south when the guys that you were working for, the Marcanos, betrayed you and left you for dead in your burning house, and they killed your family. So now Lincoln is on a quest to get revenge for his family and take over the city as well. One thing that Lincoln Clay needs to know is that he is definitely going to need some help, so he enlists the help of 3 underbosses by the name of Cassandra, Vito Scaletti, and Burke. Now, for all of you Mafia 2 fans, Vito Scaletti was actually the main protagonist of the second game, so everyone is very happy that he's returned. And he is looking quite old considering the game takes place 17 years after Mafia 2, and he got exiled from Empire Bay, and that's why he's here. Now, all 3 of these bosses are definitely on Marcano's hit list. Since they hate him and he hates them, that's why they decide to work for Lincoln. But he does also have to do some help for them to ensure the trust between them. The biggest element in this game that is fantastic is the ability to assign territory to which underboss you choose. And when assigning territory, it also comes with perks. It depends on how much territory you give to one boss. It could enable them trust, and you'll get access to better weaponry, new vehicles, and just some things that are very great for you. But one thing you need to know is you may have to find a way to keep all the bosses happy, because if you give too much territory to one boss and at the end of all of it, they could end up betraying you because over a territory dispute. So me personally, I assigned it all equally because I want to keep all my bosses, but if I had to decide between one boss that I wanted to keep, I think you all know who I would want to keep. A lot of hate is going into the game because they say it doesn't live up to Mafia 1 and 2 aspect, because in this game, you're not actually in the Mafia, you're making your own gang. Whereas in Mafia 1 and 2, you were in the gang. Although personally, I feel that it was a very good move because 2K themselves even said themselves that they wanted to stray away from the stereotypical Mafia thing. So that is one thing that I find very enjoyable. And then at the end of it, you basically own the city. But there's also another great thing. There are multiple endings in this game. Basically, the endings have been classified as leave town, rule New Burdocks with your underbosses, and rule alone. My opinion, I don't want to spoil much for you, but I chose to rule with all my underbosses because it seemed to be the best ending. If you've all played it and have seen all the endings, you know what I mean. So yes, there are elements that are different from the first 2 games, but I personally think this one is now my favorite in the Mafia series. I give this game a very fair score of 7.5 out of 10 power stars. It has its enjoyable moments, but there are some moments that are repetitive. I'm Pedro Padilla, thank you for watching. Be sure to check out our other videos and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Happy gaming!